Merci.
Thank you. Mr. Masi, for 1.5 minutes. Madam President, in the EU 2014, Apple paid on its profits 0.005% tax, 50 euros per million of profits. I therefore welcome the decision taken by the EU Commission against Apple, even against the resistance of the US government. The Irish government doesn't want the 13 billion euros and going to court now. The same government that saved with the Troika the listless ailing banks, and now it has to pay 280 million euros more to Brussels because with patent boxes it created a fictitious growth rate of 26% that any normal Irish person would split the sides laughing. And the Irish colleagues from my group in the Parliament were the only ones who voted against this, but against the government. But it's also sad when you look at the fact that the Bavarian Finance Minister Söder from the CSU is criticising the Commission for doing its job badly. And any person at the Oktoberfest in Bavaria, even after several beers too many, would only be able to dream of that type of tax rate as Apple had. We could use that money for the schools and the hospitals. And I think it would be interesting to have this clarified. Also, our subsidy legislation is too complicated with 20 EU officials. It's tilting against windmills. What we need is transparency, as we have with country-by-country reporting, for example, and profit taxation in the EU where the profits are created, not where Apple and company have their letterboxes. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Giegold, 1.5 minutes.
Madame la Présidente.
Thank you, Chair. Madam Vestager, when you're under 8